So, I mean, it must be obvious by now to a small dog age 3 that the left, or the radical left, far left, whatever you care to call it, has an absolute vice-like grip on education, universities, the media. My homepage is Yahoo on the internet. Many excitement bothered to find another page, but a while back they stopped all the comments. You could no longer comment on articles, and because our readers we want to create a safe space for our readers and all this crap, which basically means they don't want any kickback against. They're running just endless orange man bad articles. Donald Trump got on stage with his flies half done, half undone, his trousers zip half undone. That's why he's a Nazi. For stateside, and on the UK side, it's how Britain is once again awful, and we're still paying for having participated in the slave trade or something. That's why we've got to allow boatloads of fighting age males from wherever to land on our shores every day from France. We need to put them up and not ask where they come from or try and process them. Apply law to them, treating them in a humane manner, but actually, saying some of them, sorry, we can't take you in, because it's a small island, England. But no, that's and that's once again that's Brexit bad, Brexit supporters Nazis, Little Englanders racists, blah blah, all the same. And I think there comes a tremendous, and the latest thing is the Biden scandal, Hunter Biden, that odious toad of the decrepit old man Joe Biden, such a great bloke, and hasn't got dementia at all. That's all been masked up by the media. But now Hunter Biden, the Ukraine scandal, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of it, but that's being censored. Twitter have censored it. They're banning people from posting on Facebook and stuff. I mean, it's just the censorship is just disgusting. I mean, this is just one example, and there's loads. They shut down loads of pages. Paul Joseph Watson. Where do you start? Where do you stop? I mean, the censorship on the left is just mad, and the media is just completely up their ass. So I think with it comes a feeling of utter futility. And I feel kind of fortunate in Japan because I can be I'm not vocal with my views unless people come up to me and the orange man bad, Nazis, Brexit, and I said, no, actually, I've not particularly. Trump can be an ass on many things, but do I think he's that bad? No, I don't. I can't stand Obama. I think Obama's an absolute snake. Him and that odious fucking wife of his. If I was in England now, and some of the jobs I've had before, I've worked in education, not only as like a caretaker or janitor, live-in janitor, but I actually think I'd have to be really careful what I'd say in England, because now I don't really care about keeping up with the Joneses or being part of the group. I couldn't give a rat's ass about that. But important things like employment. I mean, you can lose your job for having the wrong views, the wrong opinion, and be shut down. And when I was single, we didn't have that. We didn't have this problem, so let's say 20 years ago, or when I was not married anyway. But I mean, if you've got kids now, and you're paying a mortgage and stuff, there's a Professor Gad Sad on Facebook who I follow, who's really good. But the only thing I have with him is he keeps on saying, I get these emails from people saying, I love what you do, but they daren't speak out publicly, and sort of calling them out as being wusses, basically, and saying you need to speak up. Well, if you got kids, your opinions, they take secondary importance to your kids getting fed and having a roof over their head. And that's what it's come to now. You can lose your job for having the wrong opinion. You'll get shut down. You'll be called a racist or xenophobe or a Trump supporter or whatever label the left will throw at you. I mean, they'll carry on doing that, and if they win, then eventually they'll eat their own. They're like a snake eating it. They'll just eat their own tail. They'll turn in on each other. I see that of J.K. Rowling. She sort of came out of this horrible, leftist thing she got into. Her in England, her and who's that footballer, Gary Lineker. All these people saying, I'll house a refugee in my mansion. I'll take one if he's carefully vetted. And that's why we should let everyone into the UK. Because we're just so disgraceful, and refugees invented fish and chips and all this. Anyway, I'm rabbiting there, but so I think the thing I get, because I just see it as an evil. I see far left, it is an evil. I consider myself a conservative, fool that matters, but I consider myself a conservative, small c. But I do see the far left, the radical left, as an evil. And the way I sort of obtain, I make myself feel better, because it can be very depressing seeing the rise left, but is to follow voices on Facebook, commentators that have the support, or social media. I mean, Facebook now, they're drastically, I mean, it's JP Sears, they've cut all his monetization, they've cut Anomaly, they've cut his financial support. So they're trying to go after even the big wigs. They're trying to shut them down that way by cutting off their revenue streams. I mean, Gadsad is always getting YouTube, his videos always getting demonetized. But still, is to just watch them, support them, like their things if you can, because of course social media is a big one now for the thought police, to police you on that and to check through that you're following the right pages and that, and ask you why you haven't liked the latest BLM post or something. And we're living in an age where Michelle Obama can go on screen and do her usual wet-eyed, Donald Trump's a racist, and most of the the violence across the states, most of them were peaceful demonstrations. Or CNN call it mostly peaceful, with a burning city in the background. So, I mean, if you can, little voices, but lots of little voices raised, can make a change. And I won't even say all I feel, because I'm worried this video would get removed if it ever does anything. But yeah, just follow sane voices that speak out against this cancer, and that's one way of avoiding the depression of just seeing the far left and the way it affects family and friends, because it really does. Yeah.